Hello, and welcome to another Community One Shot. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. I am looking very forward to this particular one. It's going to be a really, really fun 60s B-movie style horror deal. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump into all the action, though, I want to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. I'm going to talk a little bit about viewer actions after that, and then we'll hand everything off to Zan. Speaking of, Zan, tell us a little bit about this game and yourself.
All right. So, hi, everybody. I'm Zan, and this is going to be my first time running a game on stream. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm Zan, and we are going to be playing today a one-shot that I wrote called Crawdaddy Knows Best, set in the deepest south of rural Mississippi. We are going to, this is a really fun kind of spoof on 1950s horror movies, where all the players are actors, and over-dramatics are encouraged, if not mandatory. Yeah, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic time. You can catch me on Raven's channel pretty frequently here. I'm going to be running a game here next season, and I'll also be playing in one of Raven's games as well. That should be a ton of fun. And you can catch me at the links that I'm about to drop into chat, and that's where I'll leave it for now.
Fantastic. Next, we're just going to go around in a circle here. So we've got Charlie. Tell us a little bit about Cliff and yourself.
All right. I'm Charlie. I'm at Test the World on Twitter and here, I guess. My character's name is Radcliffe. He is chief of police from a small town, now in a bigger town. Well, I guess still like rural in a small town. But he is on the cusp of like a moral epiphany, and he's still like in the gray area, looking to be like a better policeman and a better member of his community.
Yeah,
I think that's all we need to know about him.
All right, cool. Next, we've got Rye. Tell us a little bit about Dandy O'Dale and yourself.
Excellent. I'm Ryan, this guy called Rye on Twitter. I'm going to be playing Dandy O'Dale. He's an Irish immigrant to rural Mississippi, and he's going to be the world's greatest detective. So, of course, he's gone down to Mississippi, and he's going to become the world's greatest detective and propose to his childhood love once he can prove his worth. And he's going to solve a mystery and get his name out there. And that's pretty much it.
That's fantastic. Next, we've got Manic Horse. Tell us a little bit about Katarina and yourself.
Hello, my name is Tawny. I am from Arkansas, and I'm teaching English in Japan right now. Katarina, our cat, is she's a scientist, and she has aspirations of increasing science funding in schools and moving towards more benign science than the 1960s sort of atomic obsession. So that's her goal as a character. Her concept is the girl that fell in love with mud. So that's kind of all on Katarina.
That's cool. Very cool. Next, we've got Gwen. Tell us a little bit about Tinker and yourself.
So, Tinker is a manic scientist out in the woods, convinced that they were on another planet until now, for at least a few years. Not saying they were.
Okay.
They're just convinced of that.
Gotcha.
Think Tannis from Borderlands. So yeah.
Very
Basically wants short-term goal to have less false memories, hopefully. And long-term goals to reintegrate back into society and be a normal, productive member. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Maybe not in this movie, but it's good to have goals. Well, fantastic. And then for me, I'm playing Bruce Bramble. In no way, shape, or form to be confused with Bruce Campbell. Definitely legally copyright distinct from Bruce Campbell. So he is an everyman who's also an outdoors enthusiast, and his ambition is to become the greatest B-movie actor of all time. And he thinks this movie is pretty groovy. So that's my character. I'm Raven. I'm a tabletop streamer. I'll do a whole ton of other stuff tabletop related, game design, GMing. I also do writing, editing, and voice acting, as well as composite art, one of which can actually be seen right behind me. One of my spooky art pieces. Thought it was fitting. And that's pretty much me. You can find out all about what I do on my Twitter, which is right below my face here. Before we jump into everything and I pass everything on to Zan, I want to talk real quickly about viewer actions. So you, the audience, can actually actively participate in the show and the game a number of different ways. One of the easiest ways to do so is through the game tweet, which I am putting into chat here. For every 5 interactions on that, that's likes, retweets, and comments, we will give, in this case, an extra die to the cast and the DM. I know it says D4s on the command, but with this particular game, it's all about rolling a bunch of die and seeing how many successes you get in total. So our viewer actions are a little bit different on this one. Yeah, 5 tweet interactions will get an extra die that they can, anybody in the cast and the DM as well can use. Other ways that you can interact are through guild coins, little round rainbow colored icon right below your Twitch chat box. You can use those on a number of different things, the biggest one being plot points. If you look in the panels down below on Twitch, you can see a full explanation of those and how they work. You can also click on the individual points to see what you can do with those, but they allow you to interject things into the scenes or even slightly change things here and there. The DM does have final say on what gets added or taken out or changed, but we do try to stick as close as possible to what you would like to have in there. And then finally, if you would like to support the channel monetarily, there's a number of ways that you can do that through coffee.com/Raven, Raven.rocks, subscriptions, bits, and Patreon. So Bard tier and higher patrons get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can redeem at any point. And then as far as what all that does, it's this little chart down here in the middle. For some of these that might not be super self-explanatory, the extra success is just that. So with this, you have to roll d10s and get a certain number of successes depending on how difficult it is. This gets you an extra success. So it's a pretty handy little thing there. A switch allows a player or the DM to make another player change the action word of what they're about to do. So for example, let's say Bruce was getting ready to, I don't know, swing a chainsaw at something. Zan, for example, could throw out a switch and say, change the word swing. So maybe it's toss, or maybe it's wave. It's usually pretty funny when it happens. Borrowed success allows a character to immediately succeed at what they're trying to do. No questions asked, they just immediately succeed. However, on every success after that, we'll roll a d20. If it comes up 15, then that was the success that they lost. So you might lose a success later on. It's a little bit of a gamble. Complication, you get to throw out anything that you would like, just 1 to 3 sentences, and we will put it into the scene. And then finally, swap 2 players for 5 minutes. Means that players swap roles, and that includes the DM. So you could end up with, for example, me GMing for 5 minutes and Zan playing Bruce, or you could end up with Gwen playing Cliff and Charlie playing Tinker. Whatever combination you want to throw out there. It's really funny, and it can be a blast. And with that, the cast currently has 1 extra die to use because we've had 5 interactions on the tweet already. And the GM, Zan, you've got some stuff left over from the last community game. So you're at 5 extra dice and 3 auto successes.
Fantastic. This is a great present.
Yeah. And with that, take it away.
All right. So just a quick breakdown of the rules. For this, this runs off of a D10 dice pool rather than a D20 system. So for any roles, players will be combining their skills and attributes and possibly some of their character tropes and trademarks to influence that pool. And for every 8 or 9 that they roll, that counts as 1 success, and every 10 counts as 2 successes. Anytime that a player uses one of their trademarks, they can gain an additional 2 dice to their pool, and if they succeed on the roll, then they gain directorial control. So I will painfully, begrudgingly relinquish control of the scene and let them dictate how the scene will go because of how phenomenally they succeeded on that particular roll. So, without further ado, how about we begin? All right. The opening credits begin to roll. You see a few slow motion scenic shots. The water reflecting the sun of a beautiful summer day over the Tombigbee River. The much loved Bill's Hamburger on Main Street. The famous Railroad Museum. The bustling fairgrounds, already this early in the day congregating with everyone excited for Amory, Mississippi's once-a-year festival of fun and celebration of the industry that has made this town famous, the Railroad Festival. Aptly named, I know. And you see 5 characters, 5 stars, going about their day. 3 of them sitting calmly, having a conversation at Bill's Hamburgers. 2 walking into the Civic Center, holding their science projects beneath their arms for the Atomic Energy and Other Scientific Festivals exhibition. So, we're going to open the movie up with its last shot at Welcome to Amory. Population 5,751. And a light bit of Elvis, of course, because this is Northeast Mississippi, is playing over the jukebox. And Bruce, Cliff, and Dandy O'Dale are all sitting at a table enjoying Bill's famous hamburger. What do you do?
And just so I'm clear too, are we the actors at the moment, or are we in the movie scene playing the characters?
You are in the movie scene playing the characters.
Okay.
It's a bustling day. Bill's is not too far away from the fairgrounds. You can expect that later on it'll get pretty popular. You can smell the sweet scent of greasy meat, processed cheese, and freshly baked buns, and the oh-so overpowering odor of lemony sweet tea that the South is oh so famous for. Right now there is just a few other customers in there. It's still a little early. Some of them are drinking coffee. Some of them are imbibing heavily in that glorious nectar of the South. And everyone seems to be content. In the corner, you notice a young pair, probably off on one of their first dates, off to go maybe canoodling a little later. But for now, just enjoying each other's company. The man dressed sharply in a suit and tie, the woman wearing a white sundress with a large magnolia flower tucked behind her ear.
I think Bruce is going to lean back and go, boy, this is a great meal. I'm feeling extra hungry. I think I'm going to order an extra burger. It's such a nice day. I can't imagine anything possibly going wrong today. It is so nice. It's just the perfect day. Nothing could possibly ruin this. I don't know. What do you think, Cliff?
I think we should get a round of milkshakes on me.
I was going to say great, and then you said on you, and I think that's even better. So just absolutely fantastic idea.
Treat.
All right. As you approach the counter, Cliff, you see the clerk that everyone has come to know and love so very much, Miss Martha. A little bit of a withered old woman, but she's been here as long as it's been open, and she's as much of a staple of the community as any building is. She looks at you sweetly and goes, "Oh, honey child, are you hungry?"
Oh, Miss Martha, you're so sweet. We just need 3 milkshakes over at our table.
Oh, coming right up. Would you like those in vanilla or chocolate?
I'll take a vanilla with a cherry on top, if you please, Miss Martha.
Of course.
And then 2 chocolates.
Of course. Coming right up, handsome. And with that, you return to your seat, and a few minutes later, the milkshakes are brought back to you. It's around this time, as Miss Martha is making her way back behind the counter, that you see a familiar face walking in, but they look different than they used to. For the locals out there, you'll notice that this is Cody Knowles. He's a local police officer, but he is he's not looking so good today. He's got a large overcoat on, despite the warm summer day, and his hair is wet. He's walking with a bit of a staggering gait and walks to the counter and sits by himself.
I think I should go check that out. Guys, give me a second. I gotta go see what's up with my partner over here, Knowles.
All right. So you walk over.
All right.
And you do see Officer Knowles. He's a pretty tall lad in his mid-30s. Stands about 6'4" with a protruding Adam's apple, and he has a bit of a 1,000-yard stare and doesn't notice you as you approach.
I calmly pat him on the back like a friend and try and get his attention.
Hello. How are you, partner Cliff?
Hey, Knowles, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. I'm just enjoying this fabulous, fantastic day. Looking forward to going to the Railroad Festival.
Okay.
Are you excited about the crawfish cook?
Sure, yeah.
Great. Everyone is very excited about the crawfish cook. It's going to be a great time. I am so ready to eat all of those delicious, delicious crawfish.
Yo. All right, well, as long as you're okay.
I am fantastic.
Okay.
As you're talking with him, you see the young couple that was in here earlier decide that maybe now is a good time to leave. And as they do, you see Colby's head follow the young woman, focusing on the flower in her hair, and his neck turns as they will leave. His booth at the bar slowly turning with him, and he seems completely transfixed on them, as though there are no other objects in the world, until they are not only out of the building, but around the corner out of sight, at which point he seems to come back to his senses and go, "Hello, partner Cliff. Fantastic seeing you today."
Okay, that's not creepy at all. Oh. Well, if you're fine, you can join us over here. We're just having milkshakes.
Yeah, I would love a milkshake. And he'll follow you back to the table.
All right.
This was is he a sheriff or
he's just
something like that, or?
He's just deputy.
Deputy? Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce will just raise his milkshake up and be like, "Hey there, deputy. Good to see you."
Hello.
Andy's
How are
gonna.
you, townsperson?
It's Bruce.
Bruce.
Hello.
Townsperson Bruce. It's so great to see you on this fantastic day. Are you excited about the festivities?
Oh, you know me. I'm thrilled for any town event. And I'm gonna lean over to Dandy and just quietly go, "They just get this guy right out of acting school or something?"
Dandy looks up from his burger for the first time, and he goes, "Did you forget your lines?"
No, of course not. I am. Hello, friendly Irish man.
Top of the morning to you, friendly man.
I am Colby Knowles.
I am Dandy O'Dale. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
A pleasure for yours as well. About this time, Miss Martha comes back and brings an additional burger and a large glass of sweet tea to the table and puts it down and goes, Mr. Knowles, you know, I know what you like. I know you always want the special. Here you go, and a sweet tea for you. And he says, thank you, Miss Woman. I will eat. Humans eat, and I will greatly devour this delicious food product.
I was about to say to Zeke, I'll pick this up with my human hands.
And you see him awkwardly trying to move his arms, and he does eventually pick up the burger and manages to take a bite out of it. And he chews for an obnoxiously long time and goes, yum, yum. This food is very nutritious. Very nutritious food.
Save some room for the crawdads, Knowles.
Ah, of course. I will eat my body weight in crawdads today, much like everyone else here. We are all very excited.
Right.
And after a few more minutes of small talk, Miss Martha comes back and goes, I am so sorry, officer. I have already forgotten. I did not put any lemon in your tea. And you see her hold over a large wedge of lemon and squish it, juicing it right over the glass for him. And as the lemon juice spurts all over the table with Miss Martha's unexpected strength, some of the lemon juice lands on the face of Officer Knowles. And he stares, stunned, flabbergasted, for just a moment, before raising his hands and going, "Ah!"
You're all right there, Knowles.
He is currently too busy screaming to respond to you.
Oh God, get this man a towel.
But
Cliff, is he normally like this, Cliff?
No. No. Something's definitely off today.
Bruce just kind of takes a sip from their drink and goes, I guess he's got a real bad citrus allergy or something.
All right, well, I'm dabbing my handkerchief in my cup of non-lemony tea, and I'm gonna rub that all over, hand it over to Knowles so he can get his eyes.
all right. As you try to hand it over, he does not accept the gift. He's just screaming loudly, saying, "It burns! It burns!"
Oh my God.
And he's making a little bit of a scene, and everyone in the restaurant is kind of staring, Miss Martha especially.
Well, I think we should take him outside, everybody. Well, at least I'll take him outside.
Okay. And you stand up and you aid him in sitting up as well. And as you do so, you feel an odd texture underneath the sleeves of his overcoat.
What is going on? All right, outside.
All right. You lead him outside, and Dandy O'Dale and Bruce, you both see in his seat where he was just a moment ago, 3 small crustaceans squirming around, looking lost.
Ugh.
This place is normally a wee bit cleaner than this.
It's they must have escaped the pot when they're making all the crawdads for the thing.
No, I'm not from around here. What's the obligation here? Do we clean up or take them back?
I'll just tell Martha.
Yeah.
Bruce will go up and to the counter, put a tip on the counter for Martha and go, thanks for the grub. Excellent as always. You got some sort of shellfish on the booth there. They're sort of crawling around. It's a fishy situation over there, but just wanted to let you know.
Okay. And she says, "Oh, thank you so much, sweetie. I'll get those. You know, those little things get out everywhere this time of year. I'm just so excited for the crawfish boil tonight." And she walks over and picks up the 3 crawfish as though she's done this 100 times before, though she does look a little concerned that it is in her restaurant. And she just tosses them on the sidewalk. Around this time, Cliff, Colby Officer Knowles has started to calm down a little bit. You see him breathing heavily and going, "The citrus, it burns us so badly."
Knowles, I think you need to take a rest today. Something seems to be you seem to be a little not yourself. How about you go home and take the day off?
No, I have a job to do. It is my job to make sure that the crawfish boil goes off perfectly. It will all go according to plan. Everyone will have a great time.
Knowles, I don't want to have to put my superior card down for you, but as chief, I think someone else can take over.
All right.
You need to have a rest.
I think it's time for our first roll of the game. Can you give me a roll of command and manipulation?
All right.
Or command and presence, I think would actually be more appropriate since you're pulling your authority.
So I got 1, 2 for command. But I have, yeah. I have 2 for command, so. Oh, but I also have 1 for cunning. No, I'm not using cunning, but manipulation, I've got 3.
Do you have better manipulation or presence?
I have better, it's the same.
Okay, cool.
Manipulation. So would I add that to command?
Yes. So however many total dots you have, roll that many dice.
5. Oh, and then I have badge and gun as one of my trademarks, and that's going on command.
Okay.
Does that add another die to it as well?
That will actually add 2 more dice.
Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 dice.
9d10.
9
Yes.
d10s. Okay.
So in roll 20, input rolling 9d10. Oh, and what's our result?
1 second.
I think you might have to do /R instead of the word rolling.
Cool. Okay. No. Oh, god damn. Okay, cool. Hold on.
No worries.
There we go. Okay. 50.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to look at each of the individual dice, and what you need is an 8 or higher. Any eights or 9 count as 1 success. 10 counts as 2.
I have 1 10, and that's the only one over 8.
All right, so you have 2 successes, and since you used one of your trademarks, then you can take directorial control of the scene. He's going to look at you and go, yes, you are entirely correct, superior officer. I should, perhaps, not be here. I think that you are right. And is there any other things that you would like to add to this scene? Would you like to add another actor? Like to add a prompt? Like to add a bit of excitement?
I'm gonna go back inside and pay Martha properly for the meal and have her call Knowles home to make sure he gets home safely.
Okay.
His house, because phones, home phones.
All right. As you walk back inside, you hear a distinctive and you look down to see squished crawdaddies beneath your shoe.
Yeah.
And Knowles turns to you, eyes red with fury, and he goes, "No!" and rushes towards you.
Oh, fuck. Am I gonna have to shoot him? Knowles, back down. I'm fighting him off. Fending him off.
Yes, he rushes towards you, and using your training as an officer of the peace, you manage to fight him off successfully. It does appear as though he's reaching for the gun at your holster. Bruce and Dandy, since there is a large glass window, you will both see the commotion going on outside.
We should probably get out there and help her out.
Oh yeah. That doesn't look kosher out there. Let's go see what's going on.
Mind the crawfish on the sidewalk.
Oh right, yeah. We'll brush there.
Outside.
Okay. Looked like you wanted to say something there, Cliff.
I'm gonna wrestle my gun away from him so I get a hold of it first. And I'm pretty much holding it up. I'm aiming at Knowles. Knowles, stand down.
You've gotten a little bit of space in between you and he, and he looks at you, and it's at this point you notice underneath his shirt moving and slightly seems to be crawling.
What is going on?
And it's at this time that Bruce and Dandy make it outside. And Officer Knowles will say, "You have hurt us! No!" And pull back his hand and try to just slug you right in the face.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna put him under. I'm still dealing with this as if he's normal. So, I'm gonna cuff him.
Okay, we're gonna call that. Let me look at the character sheet and figure out how that is.
Is that anything Bruce and Dandy could help with, like restraining?
Certainly.
Restraining him while Cliff cuffs him.
We could say, yeah. Do one of y'all want to make a? We're gonna call this close combat and might.
Yeah.
If one of y'all wants to aid this.
Yeah, this isn't really my area of expertise. I could.
Bruce has a good bit in that. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total die for Bruce. And None of his trademarks really work for it, though.
Okay.
But yeah, I can do that. Let's see. So it's 5d10. That is 0 successes.
Oh no!
Oh no.
All right. Oh, that's actually a botch.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there's a 1 in there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So as you run out, you crush a crawfish underneath your shoe, and his attention stops mid-punch as he turns his fury towards you.
Oh.
Ah man, these are new shoes too.
Can I get him on the ground, restraining him while he's distracted by the other crawdad squish?
Sure, you can make a close combat and might roll.
All right. Let's see. Sorry, I've got 1 for close combat, 2 for might, so that's 3. And I don't have any more for trademarks, so just 3. Get back. 9, 6, and 8.
Nice. So 2 successes.
Yeah.
So Bruce, you feel this fist come and slam into your face. You're gonna take 1 point of harm down at the bottom of your character sheet.
Me?
Bruce.
Oh.
And it's
Okay.
you hear a weird cracking sound as the fist makes contact with Bruce's chin, the chin that is the destroyer of Knuckles far and wide, and it's in this momentary pause that you are able to not only get his hands cuffed behind his back, but throw him to the ground as well, Cliff.
Awesome.
Quick question on the harm. Is that the thing in the bottom left-hand corner?
Yes, it is.
So do I click check just a flesh wound?
Check just a flesh wound. Just 1 point, just a flesh wound. Once that
Okay.
category is filled up, then any skill that involves your archetype dice will get an additional 1 to the dice pool.
Oh, okay, I see how that works. Cool.
Oh.
Gwen had a good point. Would you like me to change the music at all, Zan?
I'm okay with this for now. We'll save the dramatic music for the final scene. This is still
Okay.
idyllic, happy town.
Cool.
So Nose is now restrained on the floor.
Knowles is restrained on the ground,
All right.
his face pressing against the crawfish guts from before.
All right, Dandy's gonna walk over, squat down, and go. You know, me good sir, this isn't really the best way to be dealing with things. You know, if you got a problem with us, you should probably talk to us. Like, no, it's not that hard. If you want to explain your situation, like, no need for a fit. Like, it was a bit rude in there what you did with the lemon tea, you know, and now shouting and attacking all these people out there. It's not, you know, it's not very goodwill.
Make a presence and persuasion roll, or empathy roll, depending on which one is better for you.
Oh, that's most definitely persuasion.
Okay.
So it's 7. Oh, that's 1 success.
Okay.
It's a 10, so 2 successes.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, fantastic. So you talk to him, and he calms down a little bit, and he says, "You are correct. It is fine. I have made a mistake. I apologize. I am calm."
You know, I don't really believe him, but you know,
I think
it's kind of in your hands here, Cliff.
I need to walk this guy home.
Yeah, I think that checks out.
It's it's around this time that the taxi that Miss Martha has called, or not the taxi. This is the 50s. It's about this time that Cliff's husband shows up, and he goes, "Oh, Cliff, you goof. You've been hitting the sauce early in the morning. Come on, I'm so sorry. He gets a little rambunctious sometimes."
Are we talking about me? Are we talking about
No, not Cliff. No, I'm
Knowles?
so sorry. Yeah, Knowles' husband. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is an interesting development in my character.
No, I have obviously not had enough coffee. Gopher,
No
give
harm.
me a
Could
coffee.
be.
Intern.
Hey, I'll run with it. No worries. All right, I'm gonna put Knowles in this cab car.
Yeah. You do you say anything to Knowles' husband before he drives away?
Yeah, sure. Make sure he gets some rest. He's definitely a bit off.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for taking care of him. I'm sure he'll sober up and we'll sort things out in the morning.
Just
All right.
keep him away from the lemon juice as well. He seems to be having a bit of a citrus allergy today. You know?
Really? That's so
Yeah.
weird. He loved the ceviche that I cooked for him last night.
Interesting.
Maybe it's a
odd.
bit of an overload, you know.
Could be. It could be. Well, regardless, thank you very much.
Give us a call if anything's up.
Sure thing.
All right.
And with that, Knowles is loaded into the car, and you all hear a loud commotion starting to come from the center of the fairgrounds. It looks like it's time for the crawfish boil to start.
Whew, not ominous at all. Cool.
I feel I should share with you all before we start. I still don't really have an idea of what crawfish is.
It's like a little lobster.
I don't really know what it's gonna taste like, so
Oh.
I might just grab a burger to go.
Well, you see, Dandy, it tastes like it looks like a lobster, and it tastes like not a lobster. It tastes like a crawfish, which probably isn't all that helpful,
Well,
but it's good.
color me intrigued. You know, I do love a mystery. And he turns and winks to the camera.
And that's where the camera will cut away, and we'll see the camera panning in towards the Civic Center as Tinker and Katarina are setting up their exhibits for the Atomic Energy and General Science Fun Fair. Can each of you please, Katarina, can you please tell me what your exhibit is about?
My exhibit is essentially a like a giant ant farm, but instead of ants, it's crawfish. And as I'm setting up my crawfish farm with all the glass sides so you can see the tunnel networks, I look over at Tinker and I say, "Gee, Tinker, I hope it's not a bad day to have a crawfish life thing set up when there's a crawfish boil going on today. I hope they don't run out of crawfish because I need these for my science exhibit."
I'm not concerned about them. I'm more concerned about my exhibit. I don't want anyone taking out any of the light bulbs.
That's also fair.
So Tinker's exhibit is a star map made out of light bulbs.
Okay. A star map made out of light bulbs. All right. Cool. Excellent. Thank you so much, anonymous gifter. That's fantastic. Y'all are being real cool. Thanks so much for all the subscriptions today, guys. Yeah. So you're setting up your exhibit, getting all of the outlets plugged in. Katarina, you're making sure the glass is nice and polished so that everyone can see all these fun little crawdaddies going about their crawdaddy and crawmommy business. It's at this time that you see the person sharing the person adjacent to you setting up their exhibit. This is a much older man called that you would know by the name of Leroy Harold. He sets up his exhibit. He owns the local grocery store, but has taken an interest in science recently and a little bit of the more maddening side of science. And he goes, "Oh, hello there. How are you doing today?"
I was not expecting people yet.
Anyway, hi Leroy. It's good to see you. Do you like my Crawdaddy farm?
I love it. I think that is so on brand. It's gonna be, I think if I wasn't here, you would be winning first prize tonight. Little do you know, I've got an extra special invention. And he opens his box, and you see what looks to be a toaster hooked up to the earphone of a record, or the loudspeaker of a record player, with a shiny tinfoil antenna that's slowly rotating.
Whoa, Leroy, what is that?
This is the crustacean thought broadcasting machine.
We should have
I don't
partnered
think
up.
that works.
Don't worry. It's a patented secret. Well, patent pending secret. But it works. It works great. I can tell you that much right now.
Does that mean you have crustaceans with you too? You have crawdads with you too?
Oh no. I got into the spirit of volunteering and got caught up in the moment and donated my crawfish to the crawfish boil, unfortunately. Maybe we can collaborate a little bit, and I'll give you some credit in my invention if you let me use your crawfish.
Well, first you'll have to use your machine to ask them if it's okay if you use your. That's kind of a catch-22.
That's yeah.
I don't even know what a catch-21 is, much less a catch-22.
Mm.
It's a situation in which the outcome and the gosh, can't remember how to explain that.
How do I explain a catch-22? It's like you can't reach your goal because in order to reach your goal, you have to do the thing, but the thing is part of your goal. So
Okay.
anyway, this is supposed to be representative of the natural life of crawdads. So I don't think any addition of untested technology within their environment will be suitable for the experiment that I am trying to run.
But maybe later.
That's a shame. And you see him look a little crestfallen as he plugs his machine in, and you see the antenna slowly starting to swirl around. You hear a few muffled things, but nothing coherent coming from the from the speaker aspect of the device. Both of you, well, we're going to say, Tinker, you do notice during Kat's conversation with Leroy that there are two men wearing dark sunglasses in a suit and jacket staring daggers at the three of your tables' direction.
I think the aliens are here. I'm calling it now. They're aliens. They're either aliens or they're government agents.
Where?
Standing over towards the entrance.
I was
two
asking
people-
Tinker because
Oh,
she's the one who noticed
sorry.
them.
There's two people in sunglasses and suits. They look either alien or government agents. A lot
Oh.
of people don't dress like that.
Do you want to go talk to him?
No.
What do you
I'd
think we
rather
should
not.
do?
I'd rather imagine that they're not there. At least we see them too.
Yeah, they're there. You're not seeing the invisible where I usually can't this time. So anyway, I continue polishing the glass on my terrarium thing.
So that rules out aliens. Okay.
Why
Okay.
does it rule out aliens?
Because you can't see the aliens.
Oh, right.
And you see, after they notice that you are aware of their presence, the two agents walk over, the two suited individuals walk over. They introduce themselves, speaking rapidly in turn, one picking up a sentence as soon as the other finishes theirs with no real break in between. And they say, "Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Agent Smith. I'm Major Brown. We have some very important questions that we think we should be asking some of you."
I cannot imagine you asking me any important questions because I definitely don't know any government secrets.
Okay, agents, what can I attempt to help you with?
Well, they look to Leroy and they say, "Leroy, we know about your reefer cigarettes.
Reaper Madness.
Is this where you've been getting these crackpot theories about crustaceans having thoughts?" And he goes, "No, what? No, not it. No, I don't smoke the reefer cigarettes. No. No, I was just looking at a lobster one day and thought, I wonder if it can play chess. And then I built this machine, and it turns out it can play chess, just really badly. I mean, no, this machine doesn't work at all. This is an example in how I'm sorry, I'm a big dummy."
See, I knew that machine didn't work.
And it's around this time that you see the antenna slowly stop rotating and go slightly to the left, slightly to the right, and then focus in on the terrarium that Cat's crawfish are in. And suddenly, crystal clear, you hear,
Soon, yes, soon, brethren, sistren, we shall take over this small city and then the world. We shall oppress those who would always eat us. They butter us, they lemon us, lemon, but not anymore. Today we shall feast upon their insolence.
That sounds bad. That sounds slightly bad. Maybe the mission works. I don't. It could just be programmed to say that.
I like that it's at least programmed to adjust for the voice and the size of the creature somehow.
Yeah.
I kind of
As-
wondered about the miniature nuclear reactor they were building inside the terrarium, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's as you make that comment that they notice these small, definitely like the atomic energy starters kit that you would get in some cereals in the 50s. You notice they have constructed a poor replica of that, and an Agent Brown picks up the machine. Agent Smith grabs Leroy by the arm and says, "Excuse me, you're gonna have to come with us."
Why do you need the machine, agents?
Well, because this is a science fair, and as we've all established, this machine doesn't work. You haven't heard anything. You didn't hear anything coming from this machine, did you?
No, but he borrowed my toaster to make it, and I would like that thing back.
They look to you.
He also borrowed my atomic rods.
And they let Leroy go and put the toaster down, and you see them turn their backs and dig out their wallets, and you hear a little bit of muffled conversation. I've only got 10. Do you have any change? Oh, toasters are expensive. And they turn back around and go, will 25 cover the damages?
Well, between my toaster and also that's my mother's gramophone. Tinker, what? Leroy borrows too much stuff, and then converts it into strange machinery.
Good for it. I'm good for it.
No, it's cool, but I don't want it walking away. You said you would give it back. It's supposed to be back by last Wednesday.
Well, the exhibit was today. You should have known.
I didn't realize you were going to use it to make a communication device of some sort.
Look, you've known me for years. This is honestly something that you should expect by this point. This is not a surprise. This is. It would be more surprising if I just made toast. Honestly.
That's fair. You did try to talk to pumpkins at last year's Harvest Festival.
I also am intrigued to know what the pumpkin said.
They were Tinker. They were pumpkins. Pumpkins don't talk. Don't be silly.
But they could.
No, I made a machine, and the pumpkins didn't talk. Don't be silly. Not everything can talk. Do you think pumpkins are crawfish? Do you think a gourd is equivalent to the majestic blue crab? Don't make a mockery of my profession.
Yeah, I've never seen pumpkins build a tiny nuclear reactor.
That is intriguing.
Or a normal-sized nuclear reactor.
Takes notes. Do you think the crustaceans are actually aliens?
I mean, didn't you say that we were aliens one time?
That was disproven.
Oh. I mean, anything's possible. I want to believe.
Oh, okay. So we're going to leave $25 here, and a pack of gum. And
Ooh,
we're
gum.
going to take Mr. Leroy here and his invention away now.
But I really want my toaster. It's sentimental.
We'll try to get it back to you.
When?
Leroy, when did you say you would bring the toaster back? Last Wednesday. We'll get it back to you last Wednesday.
Oh.
So now you've invented time travel as well.
Huh.
Wonderful.
And with that,
I will take note of any time anomalies.
Okay. With that, they take Leroy and lead him outside, and you all are finished setting up your science experiments. You know that the actual exhibit is later today, and you notice that your stomachs are starting to grumble, and it's just about time for the unveiling of the great table, the Crawdaddy Express, a massive pot of crawfish boiled in a train steam engine, the highlight of this year's Railroad Festival. And it's just about time for that to start. And as you walk outside, dreaming of lemon and Cajun seasoning, maybe a little bit of potatoes and boiled sweet corn, you see a crowd gathered around the the table out in front of the old retired caboose, and you see Dandy, Cliff, Bruce, you all see the same sight as a mass crowd, dozens of people, very impressive for this small town, come out in droves, dozens, droves, same thing basically, and are anxiously awaiting. You smell the tantalizing odor of cayenne and a little bit of cumin and what's that? Could that be? That'd be a small note of hickory and fresh black pepper and this is gonna be a feast to remember for sure. As you all converge, stomachs rumbling, one stomach slightly unsure as grease drips out of your carry-out hamburger bag. That's where we're gonna take our break.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Go hydrate, bio, grab snacks, anything that you need to do, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Yeah. And we're back with spooky spooks.
Spooky spooks indeed. Yeah, we're thanks so much for hanging around during our break, and we're going to hop right back into it with our party convening as they all gather around the crowd around this large table next to a huge vat of steaming somethings that have been boiled by the famous old-timey, well, fairly old-timey train's engine. And with that, the conductor of the railroad himself steps up and says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good lunch. I hope everyone is hungry." And you hear a
Yeah, I could. I was just gonna say, yeah, I could go for some crawfish.
This is, and there's a smattering of applause, and yeah, we're really hungry. We'd love some crawfish. Hungry. Quit talking. And he goes, well, thank you all for coming out this fine, beautiful day. As you all know, my name is Linder. I am the conductor here. This will be my final year conducting the ceremonies and my final year on the trains, as I am old, by which you can tell from my raspy voice. And so I guess we're just going to get this over with, and everyone get ready to feast upon those who we should really feast on. And with that, he kicks the large bucket, and a mass of food falls out of this several 100-gallon steel container. And the first thing you see is the beautiful bright yellow sweet corn. A few jalapenos thrown in for good mix, because everyone likes a little bit of spice. Some okra, because this is Mississippi. Potatoes, of course. A few fish, a little bit of a couple of boiled strips of catfish, because who cares about catfish? And where the Crawdaddy should be, you see the mayor, his aide, and the person who was recently announced to be the new engineer of the railroad fall out onto the table, naked, bright red, with corn cobs stuffed in their mouth, as Linder begins to laugh. No! Who is the mad one? My brethren and I shall lead the world. First Amory, then Tupelo, then Jackson, maybe Memphis, then the world. And as he speaks, a mound of living crawdads grow behind him into a giant throne as he seats himself upon it, and you see his skin starting to move and shift as though he's just wearing a mask, and he seems to grow slightly as his arms distend, and he doesn't quite look human anymore. And the crowd spoke at first, yeah, this is... Oh,
Cat, are you seeing this? Am I not?
Yeah, no, this is different from last year.
Okay, so this is actually happening. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
No, I think. Are you seeing boiled people on the table? Because that's what I see.
Yeah. That's what I see. I just wondering if it
No,
was
it's
real.
yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, I was gonna get like a corn dog because I like fried things, and also there are crawfish building a nuclear reactor in my science experiment. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to grab and rip them apart so I could eat them. So
Yeah, I was.
You
I
know,
was going to
this
get
is
bunch
a
of vegetables.
yeah. Um, I don't know. This is our opportunity for cannibalism. How do you feel?
No. Please no.
And as this conversation is going on, the crowd slowly realizes that these obvious mannequins are actually the townspeople, and they stop clapping and turn to a look of confusion, and you see one of the coal stokers for the railroad turn around with crawfish crawling up his shirt, into his mouth, over his face, down his arms. And the actor doing this seems a little uncomfortable, but you can tell they're trying to keep a very stoic face. And the crowd suddenly screams and disperses.
I mean,
Leaving
that
only
happened to
the
me last week, so
leaving only the five of you.
Dandy's throwing up. I'm sorry. I'm just really not good with
I mean,
Pepper.
I see
Pepper's
delicious
just
things on
not the best.
Tuesday, so
As sheriff, I'm like trying to find a way to start looking to keep the peace, but also I have an obvious
triple
person I
homicide.
have to take care of. The conductor, the lead of who turned over the pot? What's his name?
He for the day, he is the master of ceremonies, given a
Yeah, that
official
guy.
title.
I need to get over to wherever he is.
Okay, he is currently sitting on a platform on the stage, in a living throne of crawdaddies.
I'm gonna go up with my gun like pulled because that's like a shoot first situation.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dexterity and aim roll.
All right.
It seems like this is in hand, so I'm going to just exit stage left.
Okay, Tinker, you run over and cower behind one of the nearby magnolia trees.
Oh, Magnolia Tree, please protect me.
Sorry, I was just counting.
I'm taking notes for my life of crawfish dissertation that I'm writing.
4, 7, and 5. So
Okay, you fire your gun pretty well point blank, only standing about 10 or so feet away. He's not even paying attention to you, and you see the bullet ricochet off his cheek.
jeez.
As he turns his head to you and goes, "You dare attempt to dethrone the Crawdaddy?"
Ships.
And his skin starts to shift, and you can hear the fabric of his shirt starting to bend and tear as both of his arms become giant crawdad claws, and his eyes protrude from his skull on little stalks. The Crawdaddy will take vengeance! And it will rush you.
I'm gonna run the heck out of there. I need to get away. I'll be dead.
I'd like to invoke a couple of trademarks for Bruce here,
Okay.
if I can.
Sure. What do you want to invoke?
I think he's gonna look at Cliff and go, well, we've got the good. Look at the the dead boiled people. We got the bad. You're definitely the ugly. Pointing at the conductor. Me, I'm the guy with the gun. And I'd like him to just magically, as the camera cuts to him, just have a shotgun in his hand.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, we don't question where this is Mississippi. We don't question where shotguns come from.
Yeah,
They come from
and
the
of
gun
course,
rack in the back of your truck.
Yeah. And of course, Bruce is going to utter the iconic line of, "This is my boomstick."
I
Fire it at him.
think as you say, "This is my gun." Just really badly dubbed over.
I love it.
Okay, go ahead and roll dexterity and aim for me.
Oh, that's great. What is my dexterity? So that's 2, and then 3. And then I do have the boomstick linked to shotgun and good, bad, and ugly linked to aim. Does that that does something, right?
You can use you can add one of them and gain a +2 on your dice pool.
Okay.
They don't stack, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries. We'll do boomstick. For +2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Ooh. 2 10s, a 1, and an 8
Wow.
are in
Oh
all of
my
that.
gosh.
Wow. Okay, so that's
Hero.
5 successes. Additionally, you take directorial control because you can add in props, add in actors, stunt doubles, change the theme music that we're that's currently the ambient if you wish. It's all up to you as you lower the boomstick, make your great one-liner, and oh no, that was saying that you the character can oh yeah, excellent. This is
I already had it loaded in,
Oh
so I was
my
like,
God.
sure, why not?
Yes.
fantastic. I love it. And you lower the boomstick and fire, and you hit solid core center of mass. And as the smoke clears, you see the shirt has mostly been torn to tatters. The nice white button up completely decimated. Scorch marks on the carapace where skin should be, and only a small trickle of green blood that looks suspiciously like Jello coming from around his rib area. You!
Okay.
You are the one who will be boiled alive next! And will run towards you and attack with his giant Crawdaddy claws.
All right.
Is there anything else that you would like to do with your directorial control? Would you like to knock him prone? Would you like to add any scene, any props? Would you like to do anything of that nature?
Yeah, probably have it just for flavor, no extra damage or anything like that. But of course, it being a double-barreled shotgun, firing off 3 rounds instead of just 2, and maybe the third one knocks him prone.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't be a B movie unless there was an inaccurate number of shots from the gun.
Of course, yeah, exactly right. You fire the first shot and it tears his clothes away. The second shot, and he fends off most of it with his claws. The third shot takes him off his feet as he lands to his butt. He stands up, looking indignant, and rushes towards you, claws outstretched, and buries his claws into your stomach. you're going to take 3 points of harm.
Oof. That'll leave a scar.
That will leave a scar. So now any roll that you make using a skill that is on your archetype will gain that many dice as a bonus.
That's cool.
Okay. The Crawdaddy is somewhat impaled Bruce, the chin that could not be killed. Is there anything that anyone else would like to do?
Is there
Tink-
any moment where I could have an epiphany that I can connect the lemon to this moment?
Of course, yeah. You figured it out. Yeah.
Somebody get some lemon. We could probably do some damage on these guys.
Before you say that, the camera slightly softens its focus a little bit as it zooms in on your face, and in your internal monologue with a slight echo, we hear, "Lemon. It's the lemon." And then you make your suggestion to the rest of the party.
You know, Cliff, if you could run back and grab the lemon, I could probably keep him distracted here for a bit. I'm quite good at talking.
Call around and see if anyone else has lemons. I'm gonna get Martha back on this.
All right. I want to approach Dandy's going to approach the Crawdaddy just a few feet away.
Mhm.
And I'm going to invoke both my trademarks and one of my tropes.
Okay.
So my trope is a monologue, and my trademark is, if I keep talking, it'll work out eventually. So
Okay. What skill is that linked to?
Persuasion.
Okay, so make a presence and persuasion roll.
All right.
With a +2 bonus. What does if I keep what does the your trademark do?
It means that
Trope.
I took it from another one slightly, but I can't remember what it was. It was just to be a bonus in persuasion, I think.
Okay, so go ahead and give yourself an extra die for that.
Yeah.
So you'll take a +3 bonus.
+3 bonus on top of what was it? Persuasion and
Persuasion and presence.
all right, so that's 10.
Okay, so in D20 or in roll 20, make your Oh man, thanks so much, Anonymous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's gonna be 4 ones,
Wow.
2 9s, and 1 10.
All right, well, that's still 4 successes. As long as there's 1 success, it doesn't count. Again, just a quick shout out. Thank you so much to the audience. We really appreciate those tier 1 subscriptions. It helps the channel keep going. Y'all are absolutely fantastic. The concession really appreciates the popcorn. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows the real money is to be made in the popcorn purchases, not the movie tickets. So he stops and looks at you and goes, "What would you know of our plight? What would you know of being boiled and feasted on every year?
Well,
There's no festival.
From
This
my
is a
homeland in
massacre."
Ireland, I'm Irish. There's been many a travesty in my people's backstory, and in
I
this
thought
great
you
world,
were Welsh.
Well, we're very similar. We've both been put down by those English. But, in this world in which we live, there's many good forces and there's many bad forces as well. You got those, I don't know, communists over in Russia and all that stuff. And, there's a lot going on, and, we should all try to be better to each other. I mean, look at you. You're all working together to achieve a common goal. And I think that's wonderful. But is there no way we could solve this in a much happier and, less, and I look down and see the impalement and go, impale kind of way. As a community, if we come together, we might be able to solve something and, do what we can.
Of course we are communist. We are crawfish.
Well, it's a certain way of believing, but you know, would you like some money and maybe I can buy something from you?
And as you are having this conversation, Tinker and Cat, is there anything that you would like to do?
I
Yes, Bruce. Is there something?
Yeah, I just wanted to have Bruce interject something real quick. So as Dandy's doing that monologue, getting towards the end of it, he's just standing there. You know, he's still impaled with these
Still
claws.
very
He's like,
much impaled.
You know, Dandy, not that I don't appreciate, you know, your lengthy monologue here and explanation, and it's very inspiring. But you know, no rush on getting these things out of my guts.
All right, of course. If you could, you know, just could you remove them while we have this conversation? Just slightly take them out while we're talking. You know, it's a bit more polite.
Because you rolled so well, and you would have had directorial control on that scene. Would you like to use your directorial control to make him comply?
Yes, directorial control makes him compliant. Both our gazes meet, and there's just this little moment of like understanding and not, you know, total change in attitude, but you know, a little bit of soft music could well up as our eyes meet, and you know, he stares into the big blue eyes.
Okay. And yeah, Tinker and Cat, is there anything that you would like to do?
I would
I
like
have
to
an
get
idea.
closer
But-
to the. Sorry. I'm like edging closer as I'm taking notes and like looking at the carapace of this thing. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Tinker.
Hey, quick break, real big ups. Thank you so much, Michael Wayne, for the tier 1 subscription to Manicourse. Thanks a lot, man. You're the absolute champion. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there, Tinker.
I have an idea,
So
but
much.
I don't know. Like, would I have a taser?
We'll say that you have. Well, this is Mississippi. We'll say that you have not a taser so much as a giant cattle prod.
Oh
Yes,
God.
there we go. There we go. I would like to somehow sneak up behind the giant thing and shock it.
Okay, we're gonna get you to make a sneaky sneak. So a sneaky sneak is gonna be. I'm gonna keep clicking on the wrong Roll20 tab. I have so many Roll20
Larceny
tabs
and dexterity.
open. Yeah, that sounds right. Go for that.
Awesome. And do I have? No, I don't. I don't think Surgeon General would apply. Or
I'm gonna lean towards no on that one.
so yeah. That's 5d10. Oh, that's 3 successes.
Nice. Well done. Well done. Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, you have given the dramatic monologue that is taking place, you do successfully sneak up behind the Crawdaddy.
And
Okay, we're gonna give you a dexterity and close combat roll on this one.
dexterity in close combat. I don't
Yes.
think I have close combat.
Then that will be a dice pool of 0 for that skill.
Okay. Nope.
Oh no! Oh
Oh,
no!
no.
It's a big old botch right there. You go to in this little peaceful, quiet moment of "Oh Danny Boy" playing in the background. The audience slowly sees Gwen just old school like Scooby-Doo sneaking up behind the Crawdaddy and jamming the taser into its back. and it sparks and arcs and hisses, and the Crawdaddy turns around slowly, angrily, reaches one claw down and clips the taser in half and says, "You lied!"
Can I use my
I technically
closeness?
did not lie at all. I never said anything.
Can you what there, Cat?
Can I use how close I am to take notes to attack him?
Sure, what are you attacking him with?
Well, I was going to try and use my hands basically to kind of pop him in the soft parts. I have close combat as an outdoor enthusiast. I was hoping I could use might and my no kill like overkill thing trademark.
Trademark? Okay, what's no kill like overkill do?
What does it do? I don't remember. No kill like overkill. Fuck. Sorry.
That's no problem. While you're looking that up, we're gonna hop back over to Cliff. Cliff, you make your way into the diner, and you see Miss Martha there with a crate of lemons, slowly cutting them for the next batch of sweet tea.
Martha, stop what you're doing. I need any and all your lemons and your help to bring them back to the Crawdad Festival, the railroad. We have to go.
Now, why would you need all my lemons? Are you having a lemon party, sweetie?
The Crawdads have come to life. They need to be stopped. The lemons will help.
The lemons?
The lemons.
Well, okay. I guess, is this
Miss
official
Martha,
police
we
business?
don't have time to stutter. We need to get out of here.
And she'll just this old woman will lift up this 10-pound crate of lemons and just effortlessly hand them to you.
Thank you, Martha. Can you come?
Well,
No, if I don't want to put you in danger, you're fine. Just stay. I have to get out.
Well, I'm not opposed to the opportunity. Henry's been dead for 15 years, and your hands. Oh, okay, that's fine. You can just leave. And she
I'm
snaps her
running
finger.
away.
Snaps her finger and goes, "Oh, Martha, maybe you finally lost it. Maybe you just don't got the game anymore." Yeah, and you run back out with the lemons. Kat, how's the search for the no kill like overkill?
Well, looking at it, no kill like overkill is essentially double tap rule from Zombieland. Make sure it's dead and in pieces, and you know. So maybe it doesn't really apply, but I got it under close combat, so DM's call.
Okay, we'll give you the +2 on your dice roll.
Okay, so that should be a 6 because I have 2 in close combat, 2 in might. Is that okay?
Yes.
And then 2 for the trademark.
Okay, go for it.
Okie dokie. First roll for me. Let's see if I can figure out how this works with my Japanese keyboard and all that stuff. 6 D10. Go. That's 1 success.
1 success. You look from your notes, slowly walking up, casually, trying to cloak your motives, and reach out and sock the Crawdaddy right in his eye stalk. And ow! That really hurts.
I'm sorry,
Really hurts.
My hand slipped. I wanted to take a closer look at that.
You tear the skin away, revealing a bright red carapace underneath the fleshy covering that looks suspiciously like cheap latex. And you're going to take 1 point of harm because that really hurt.
Oh,
That really hurt.
Really hurt.
Who does that? Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Okay. So I think that'll. Bruce, you are no longer impaled. What?
Fantastic.
And I think for the sake of plot purposes, the first Cliff will return before anyone makes their way before anyone acts again this turn. So Cliff, make your dramatic entrance again. With carrying your crate of lemons.
Lemons. Lemons. Everybody grab lemons.
Y'all, listen to the lady. She knows what she's doing. Let's get the lemons.
Ah, great. Lemons, yeah. Yeah, here, hand me a couple.
Oh my gosh. We
And,
need to
I'm
make a
gonna
lemon
use-
lemon combustible lemon grenade launcher.
Well, I'm gonna use the trademark MacGyver before it was cool, which is linked to survival. Because this is set before MacGyver.
a different kind of lemonade.
The trope,
The original MacGyver.
Okay. All right.
yeah,
All right.
the trope being one of the survival suggested ones, which is you can make anything out of nothing, essentially. And I want to use the shotgun with the lemons, basically like just cram a lemon into each barrel as like a lemon launcher.
Perfect.
So it's just the spray of lemon zest and juice in front of the shotgun.
All right. Make a.
Is that something I can do?
I mean, rule of cool. Hell yeah, it is. We've got the budget for it in this movie. It's
Fantastic.
yeah, go ahead and make a dexterity and technology check for me with a
Okay.
+2 bonus.
While Bruce is doing that, can I attempt to distract the Crawdaddy?
Sure. How would you like to distract the Crawdaddy while Bruce is stuffing their barrels with lemons?
Seeing what he's doing, I'm gonna
use one of our extra die, by the way. Sorry.
It's a.
I'm gonna turn. I'm
yeah,
gonna turn
so
to
you do get an
Crawdaddy.
extra die on that for as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Crawdaddy and say, "Do you know, when I was a kid, there was a saying my mother always used to say to me. She said every time, and I know you're having a bad day right now, so I'm gonna repeat it to you, okay? When life gives you lemons, right, you'll make lemonade." And I'm just gonna point, and I hope that Bruce is ready to fire at this point.
Fantastic. Make a. Go ahead and make a empathy and
1,
presence
2,
roll.
3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes. Oh wow.
Oh god.
Yeah, 8 and a 9 and 2 10s.
All right, and I've got to roll a d4.
It's 6 successes. Wow. 6. Oh. Wow.
2 successes for me.
Yeah, he is completely focused on you and says, "You may be right."
I just want, as I point, the camera swims and goes straight down the barrel of the zest gun.
Yeah, the camera pans back around and you see Bruce holding the shotgun with 2 lemons comically glued onto the end of it, and the camera's going to cut away for just a second and focus just on the barrel of the gun as you hear the boom of the triggers firing, both shots going wide, and you see the lemons explode out the front of the barrel, and Crawdaddy turns around and goes, "Hi, you can't!" and looks down and sees just a plethora of wounds on his chest, lemon juice slowly sizzling and eating away at the armor covering him. And he goes, "No! No, my weakness! How did you know?" And you have directorial control of the scene, Raven.
Um,
You can deal extra damage. You can manipulate your other actors, props, scenery. Your call.
um, yeah, I think he's just gonna, sort of pull the shotgun back up and go, "How you like them lemons?" Slap another one on the barrel and toss the shotgun to Dandy to deal a finishing blow.
Y'all are just playing. You're playing Crawdaddy in the middle.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Tinker, Cat, is there anything that y'all would like to do?
Yeah, get out of the way. and grab a lemon and chuck it.
All right, make an aim and dexterity roll.
Aim and dexterity. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, that's 2 successes.
Okay. You you throw the lemon, and it thuds into one of the previously exposed wounds in the chest cavity in almost a too perfect way. This looks as though it was filmed in reverse, like the lemon was stuck to the chest and then someone yanked the string off camera, because it just slides perfectly into slot as the film is reversed. And yeah, he goes, this really grinds my gears.
Yes. Yes.
And you see the wound around the lemons start to eat away a little bit more quickly. Kat, what would you like to do?
The scientist, in a fit of bizarre strength that was unexpected, rips a lemon in half and gets lemon juice all over her hands and just starts like poking the like unexposed bits with the weird latex stuff just to see what happens. She's literally got a clipboard under her arm and is just do like pen in her mouth. She just wants to see what the fuck happens.
Okay, make a dexterity and close combat roll for me.
Okie dokie.
I will remind you that as we're probably coming near to the end of our movie, the dramatic fight being at hand, there is still one dice if you would like to add it to your pool, thanks to the viewer actions.
I still get 6 on that one.
Okay.
That's there's a 10 and a 9 in there, so that's 3 successes.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, you almost Kill Bill style. You start poking, and you're poking at his his shirt is ripped open to the point that it's just hanging by his waist where it's tucked in. You start poking at his back, and you hear sizzling sounds each time your finger touches his carapace, and then the camera zooms out. And you see you looking proud, taking notes, and emblazoned into his back from your just finger strokes and pokes. You see the bold words, "Drink more Ovaltine," and then a small logo with a da-da-da-da, for Ovaltine pops up at the bottom of our screen.
Product placement. Oh God.
Okay. So it'll be the Crawdaddy's turn again, and the Crawdaddy will. Oh no! I broke everything. The Crawdaddy will turn to the one who has the shotgun and make a desperate attack towards you. Both claws outstretched towards your throat as you've distracted him for the last time. Raven, I'm going to use that D10 that I have in my pool.
Okay. Dandy does have the shotgun now, by the way.
Yeah. That's why he's going for Dandy.
Okay, gotcha.
Dandy got the shotgun.
Is there any way I could use one of my tropes at this moment?
How would you like to use your trope?
I have the trope that's above my pay grade, where I could just, if something's like in my scene that I don't like, I can just say, like nope out and leave the scene. If I'm trying to force something I don't want to do, so I've had the gun thrown towards me.
Make a athletics and dexterity roll for me.
Ooh, okay. Do I get any bonus from the trope?
The trope will give you a +1 bonus.
All right.
We'll say.
Still not a lot of dice. Oh, that's a success and a fail.
No, it's just as long as there's one success, the ones don't count.
Okay, cool.
I'll make my roll as well. And so holding the shotgun, you come on, roll 20.
Can I catch the shotgun?
Well, he's holding the shotgun at the moment. How would you like to extricate yourself from this scene, Dandy?
Dandy sees the shotgun from Bruce. Yes. You know, I don't even know how to use one of these. Pass, and he just tosses it in the air and like walks away.
So as you toss it into the air, sure, we'll say that Tinker can catch it. As you toss it into the air, the camera cuts away to Tinker's hand grabbing onto the shotgun, very a la Army of Darkness, and we'll pan back just in time to see a mannequin dressed in your clothes, Dandy, getting just assaulted by this crawdad, and the crawdad is snapping his claws all over it, just rending this mannequin asunder. And as the camera pans back around to show where the mannequin should be on the ground, we see you again in the mannequin's ripped up clothes with red-colored corn syrup and bits of oatmeal smattered across your chest and coming out of your mouth and out of your eye, and but somehow you look somehow you're like your cheeks got dirtied up a little bit, and you look roguishly handsome.
Let's be just a little bit of like cheese in like my beard as I've come back on after eating a burger off stage.
Yes,
so there's still just a little bit of food.
100%.
Like a pork cut.
Yeah, and we just hear you go, that was a close one. Above my pay grade. Okay, so who would like to go next?
Who's got the gun?
I would like to shoot the lemon that I stuffed in the beast.
All right. So you before you do this, because I have a sneaking suspicion about this in a very bad way. Kat, is there anything that you would like to do?
I'm still standing alarmingly close to this thing. Like I've been following it around and just like occasionally pointing with my pen, looking and just taking notes. So I'm probably not being the most effective team player here.
Okay. Make a intelligence and what would this be? We'll say this is going to be intelligence and
so it'd be intellect.
Oh yeah, intellect. Yes.
I also have science.
Yeah. Is that one of your trademarks?
Well, no. It's just a skill.
Okay, so we'll say intellect and science. Do you have any appropriate trademarks or tropes to apply to this?
Well, I have seeing beauty in the horror of nature, which I'll see if I can find. Seeing beauty in horror. Where you at? Seeing beauty in horror.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
all go to the lobby and have a shrimp po' boy.
Oh God. Seeing beauty in horror. Frick. Do 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 do. Anyway, intermission.
Yeah, you're seeing more
Difficult.
advertisements for Pepsi Cola, for oh, thank you so much, Gwen. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Gwen.
Look, where is this thing? Seeing beauty in horror.
Thanks so much. It's a borrowed success to the cast, so that is
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gwen.
Very kind of you.
We're gonna rule a cool this here, Kat, and we're gonna say that
Alright.
it'll give you a +1 to the roll.
A +1?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see if I can find it on not my turn. So that'll be I think a 7.
7. Okay, so roll it in D20 or roll 20. I say D20.
We have intellect, that's 4. Science, which is 2,
Close enough.
and then rule of cool with this an extra 1, so that's a 7.
Yes.
I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good.
That's I got a 9 and a 10 in there.
Nice. You actually recognize these particular lemons that makes the sweet tea at Bill's Hamburgers so famous. It's the rare Guatemalan combustible lemon.
Yes.
Do you make this known?
I have a habit of talking out loud, so yes.
Okay. Would you like to tell the your co-stars?
I take a close look at a lemon and I find a sticker and it says produced in Guatemala, and I'm like, oh, this is the Guatemalan combustible lemon. I was wondering why I always had heartburn after drinking that sweet tea. And then I continue taking notes.
Okay, so Tinker, you have now been informed
Yeah.
that the lemon that you've thrown into the chest of this Crawdaddy is none other than the world famous Guatemalan combustible lemon. What do you want to do?
I want to shoot it with the shotgun, and I want to use that for a success because I do not trust.
I'm gonna shoot that lemon with some other lemons.
You have to shoot
Okay.
it with a gun.
Yeah, shoot it with a gun.
All right,
Shoot
go
with a
ahead and make the roll for me, and I'll
gonna
take
use
into
bars.
account the borrowed success. Yeah, we're gonna see how epic we can make this.
Okay. What's the roll?
The roll is gonna be dexterity and aim.
Dexterity and aim, which is 5.
We're gonna see just how amazingly this goes off.
None.
Okay, so
Oof.
Good thing I.
Good thing you used the borrowed success.
we we see you raise the gun up. Is there anything that you want to say before the trigger is pulled?
It's always aliens.
Nice to squeeze you.
It's always aliens.
Always aliens.
It's always alien.
As you pull the trigger and nothing happens, and from off screen you hear a voice very similar to my lovely voice go, all right, why didn't the gun go off? Why didn't the gun go off? Excuse me, this was supposed to have a blank. This is the dramatic shot of the movie. Why are we having technical difficulties now? cut. Okay, we're gonna start this again. Remember your motivation. You're shooting the Guatemalan exploding lemon. It's gonna go off. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be the most dramatic ending to any movie ever. And we're gonna reset everyone's position. You raise the gun back up and say, "It's always aliens."
Yeah.
Pull the trigger with a loud yes, Bruce.
I was just gonna say during that cut, could Bruce walk over to Tinker and go, "Hey, so they gave me a ton of these lines. I've only used like a quarter of them, but one I thought might work. How about you crawl off my planet? Something like that might work with your alien thing. Just feel free to leave it, use it, whatever. Just thought I'd interject that while we're on cut here. Then I'll go walk back to my mark on the stage.
You better pray to whatever god you believe in.
Oh, hey, that's a good one.
Your life, could you lose some zest?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Death is better than a life in a Cajun.
It's a stretch, but still good.
Okay, so you have your your choice of lines. What is the line you say as you?
The line, yeah. They're gonna use the line that. Well, you've got to crawl off my planet.
And you pull the trigger, and there's a bang and a big cloud of smoke focusing on you. The camera situated at the end of the barrel. You looking cool like the crazy wilderness hermit scientist that you are. You pull the trigger, the gun explodes, and you don't even blink. And then we shift focus back to the Crawdaddy, and we see another mannequin that looks eerily similar to the mayor's aide mannequin. This time with large crawfish prosthesis on the arms, wearing the same clothes, with the lemon poking out of the chest. What would be the lemon? It actually appears to be a small stick of dynamite that has been painted yellow with a comically long fuse coming out of it. And we see the dynamite detonate, and the Crawdaddy explodes in a cloud of smoke. And we turn to all of you as you all cluster together, holding your hands up over your head as tiny crawfish rain from above, and comically one of the oversized claws lands at your feet, limply smoking, and oddly enough smelling quite delicious. Calm music starts to play as Tinker pulls the gun up and blows cools off the tip of the barrel, and you notice in the distance there's a sunset, and on this mangled mannequin, a magnolia flower from the tree above comes off the branch and floats slowly down, landing on it as the camera pans back to the cast.
Can Dandy lick his lips with a little bit of the juice and go, you know, Bruce, you're right. It's like lobster, but it's not lobster.
Right?
It's
like a gamey lobster.
It's like a gamey lobster. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
How can you eat that at a time like this?
Oh my god.
I'm hungry.
I've never eaten crawfish before. Like, what better time would there be? I wanted to solve a mystery, and now I know how crawfish taste.
You can't let this crawfish go to waste. The whole town's gonna smell.
Oh god, you're right.
As you say that, you do notice that there is a table full of grilled corn, boiled corn, potatoes, okra, peppers. It's a perfect spread, and the mannequins are conveniently gone from the table, having been used for stun doubles by this point. And you notice the crowd slowly starting to reform, and one voice goes, "Is it safe? Is it time for crawdads?"
It's time for crawdads.
and the crowd cheers. There's a roar, and you see the sun setting in the distance as everyone gathers around to have a cold brew the American way and have a plate full of crawdaddies. And that's where our credits are going to roll.
And then, after the credits, back to the Science Center, where the tiny nuclear power plant begins to glow.
And you see the crawfish around it slowly bowing with their claws outstretched. And you think you can almost hear a sound, but there's nothing there to interpret the crawdad language. And that's where the screen's gonna go black.
I love it.
Maybe there's a small failed audio cut where you hear Dandy's actor go, "Well, thank goodness that's over. I don't have to do that preposterous accent any longer."
And a large advertisement for Tony Sachery's Cajun seasoning pops up.
Very droll.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved that. That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Zan.
That was great.
We're gonna go on a raid here in just a bit, but before we do, I definitely want to give everybody a chance to say their favorite part and find out where we can find all these wonderful people next. So we're gonna do reverse order this time. Let's start with Gwen. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And is there anything else that you'd like to share?
My favorite part has got to be oh my gosh, there were so many good parts. I can't choose. I
There
really
were.
can't. I cannot.
The whole thing could be your favorite part too. That's a valid option.
Yeah, because there's really nothing. Like, there's really no part that I could say is better. It's all great.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can find me next tomorrow on Badlands.
Yeah,
Penultimate,
Badlands
or is it the finale?
series finale.
It's the finale.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's the finale tomorrow.
Awesome.
That means next week we don't have
Yeah.
anything, right?
Correct. After this next week. So a week from tomorrow, we're taking a week off to prep for the next season. Awesome. That'll take us down to Man, of course. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? Anything else you'd like to share?
I think one of my favorite parts was just the reefer mention. And digging through pop culture references to see if Catch 22 was actually available at this time period, which it was. So yeah, it was just really interesting. Sorry, Zan, the game tomorrow for Nagoya, is it being streamed?
It is being streamed, yeah.
So tomorrow we have a 5e game. Zan will give you more information, but I'm gonna be playing piebald tiefling sorcerer that'll be a new race, a new class. That'll be interesting for me. So
Oh, cool.
I'm excited about that.
Very cool.
It was also lovely playing with everybody. It was a
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
interesting game.
Thank you. Yes. Next, we've got Ryan. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to say, the perfect twin barrel shotgun, but with 3 shots, was just genius. I could see it, with a 1 shot, and then just when it cuts, going. It would be clipped on YouTube for years. I occasionally write some articles, so you can sometimes find something on my Twitter, which has been underneath my name the whole time. I'd love to jump on some more of these one shots, and I might pop up on some of Zan's campaigns occasionally. So
Yeah.
Fantastic. Next, we've got Charlie. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, this is my first time doing an RPG. My first time being on Twitch on stream. So this was really fun. I loved it so much. I am available to join on anybody's like drop-in games or anything like this where it's a one shot, or if you're willing to invest in me and bring me into your like long running games. I don't know. I would love to just join anybody's listening who's got like open spots. I would love it.
We've got open spots
sure.
next
I'm on
season.
I'm like constantly tweeting on Twitter. I'm at Test the World. And I just love all my followers, and I just try and just like spread love as much as possible. So, oh my God, I love my favorite part probably.
That's good.
Were the scientists. Oh my gosh, they're just banter back and forth is just fantastic. Oh my gosh, I loved it. It was so good. So like casual, laid back. So just Crawdads are taking over the world, I guess, today. Oh my God.
This one gets a little happy.
So nonchalant. I love it so much. It's so good. And then all the like one-liners. I love that. That's awesome.
Fantastic. And yeah, we do actually have a couple of spots left for upcoming campaigns, so we'll talk. Zan, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
Oh man, I just like getting to be a goof. I normally run a little bit more serious games than this, so this was just a delightful lark. I don't know if y'all can tell, but my cheeks kind of hurt from smiling so much. This was just from start to finish such an absolute delight. Thank y'all all so much for being a part of this. It was so fun, and I am so thankful that my first time running a game was able to be such a good experience. My first time running a game on stream was able to be such a good experience. And yeah, I'm Zan. You can catch me at the links that I'm about to drop into chat. And where I'll be next is I guess I should mention I'm a professional content creator and DM. So I've got a couple of commission games going on right now, two of which Manic Horse is in, one of which Dandy O'Dale is in at the moment. We're all having a lot of fun in Everon at the moment. And yeah, you can catch me next time on Facebook tomorrow. It'll be at midnight Central Time in the States, so it's kind of centered around the Japan audience. But we're doing a intro to 5e beginner stream, and we're just gonna have a real good time with probably my favorite one shot in all of D&D, and I'll be DMing that one. And after that, you can catch me on. Oh, I don't want to say it, Raven. On the season finale of Hunters of Calamity, where I am everyone's favorite obnoxious talking robot. Talking, dancing, high-fiving. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. I am sad to see that campaign end because it's been a blast. So for me, my favorite part was a lot like Gwen. The whole thing was just great. It's hard to pick favorites, but definite highlights. The interaction with the scientist for sure. I loved the couple of little quips here and there from the director. That was great, especially where's my coffee? I loved that. Dandy's monologue to distract the monster. And Bruce standing there like, anytime you want to get these out of my stomach. And then Cliff was great with the sheriff stuff. No, I'm getting out my gun. This is a shoot first, ask questions later situation. That was great. I loved all of that, and getting to play a sort of nod to one of my favorite B-movie actors was also really fun. I've never played that type of character before. So I really enjoyed that. The whole thing was fantastic. As for where you can find me next, I will be here tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, to GM the last in our long-running series of Badlands, our final finale, where we're going to end the whole story. Very bittersweet on that, because it's been a 3-season campaign with some really. Yeah, it was actually the first campaign we did on the channel as a full campaign, and yes, very bittersweet. The characters we've all come to really love quite a bit. So we're gonna see the end of that tomorrow. And as for other things to share, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the gifted subs, specifically Michael Wayne. Thanks so much for that gifted sub. Gwen for the donation. All of our supporters, everybody who does the retweets and everything, all of it is super, super helpful and helps keep the proverbial lights on. Very much appreciate it. And let me just real quick double check that who we're rating is still going. Yes, they are. So we're going to go raid Dice Priori, another great tabletop channel. Definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. Feel free to copy that raid call out of chat. And we're just gonna throw that into their chat as we come in with our raid. Yeah, I think that was it. Thank you again to all the players. Thank you, Zan, for running this fantastic game. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.